You can now connect your Claude to Facebook ads, meaning every single one of these agencies that was charging thousands upon thousands of dollars to manage ads, to optimize your ads over on Facebook. Matter of fact, if you're doing that, if you've ever placed an ad over on Facebook for any sort of thing, maybe it's dropshipping, maybe it's your own business, it can now be optimized with the power of AI. Supported officially by Meta themselves. This is a report from Facebook themselves, from Meta. Manage ads from an AI agent with Meta Ads AI connectors. And in this video, I'll show you some of the best use cases, how to get started with it yourself, how exactly to set this up step by step, and also how to combine it with a couple of other tools to make it just so much more powerful. Now, let me preface this by saying, if you want the full-on guide on how to set this up and the guide that I'm about to show you and all the prompts, just go towards the Skool. It's going to be the first link in the description down below, and you'll find the setup guide really convenient and really easy. Now, first, even though I would like to talk about the theory, just for anybody that does not like to waste time, here is the official MCP link in case you were wondering and you know exactly how to do it. Just by having this link, you probably already know how to set it up and you can just start playing around with it. But if you'd like to get a little bit more insights, stay tuned because I'll show you everything step by step. And you can probably just use the timestamps down below to get to a certain part of the video. But let me just start this out by saying, what exactly are we even talking about? Well, you can now run all your Facebook ads through talking with Claude. So I can now just use my little Claude desktop app to ask it any one of these things, like take a look at all the activity on my ads, get all the data sources, get whatever, get the ad accounts, get the ad entities. This is just a couple of different things I could do. This is reading though, but I could actually, if we keep scrolling down, you can see, also let it make things, start boosting IG posts, make an ad catalog, and you can see the amount of things you can do. And specifically the past week here, right, ever since Fable got released, the possibilities for what you're able to do are now really endless because Claude Fable, the best model Claude has ever gotten, can now think of what you should be doing for you. And so instead of just being this like assistant, what you could call it, I right now spend so much freaking tokens, so many tokens on setting this up, because it's just that good, and the moment that you get started, you won't want to stop, especially if you're already using Facebook ads. Anyway, so it's just like whatever you were doing already, but then with the power of AI, and hopefully, if your Claude is nicely set up, you can actually also have a system that automatically improves and most likely knows how to do things better than a human ever could, or more importantly, can do things for practically free at a fraction of the cost at lightning fast speeds in comparison to humans. Now, you ask, it reads everything and it answers. There's a nice little thing we've got here, and I'm gonna break it down like this. If you ask in plain English, where exactly did my money go? Like, how is it leaking out? Why is something not optimal? Instead of you having to click through everything yourself, Claude can read all these different parts of your account and get you a full-on breakdown of where exactly your money is going, what is going well, what could be optimized upon. Especially if you give a couple of prompts that we'll be talking about a bit later in the video, you can really optimize any sort of flow for Facebook ads. I really don't think there's anybody out there that will not find this useful. And if you're worried about it having too much power, matter of fact, you do not want your Claude to have access to every single part of it, I'll also show you in a little bit how to give it more restrictions, how to make sure your Claude can't ruin everything, because you can also change the permissions, which again, I'll be going over in great detail. But in theory, it can literally do anything. It can monitor your ads 24/7 even when you're asleep. It can check exactly where you're spending your money, but it can also actually spend the money for you. Make proper rankings, make proper reports. Matter of fact, maybe it can, while you have one part of your Claude looking through all the competition's ads, you can actually let it automatically generate ads versus what other people are doing. So for example, if you make teddy bears to a certain extent, maybe on the one hand, your Claude is auditing all the other teddy bear ads over on Facebook and Instagram, and then every single time it finds one, it makes an ad with a very small budget based on whatever it just saw. It copies it word for word, bar for bar, with some, personalized changes. You can set this all up now to be completely automatic. And it can also write a report for you. You can study your winners and give you insights back. How exactly do you set it up? And here's also how to get some permissions in place to make sure your meta ads connector here can't just go absolutely rampant. Now, inside of Claude, there's a little button that says connectors. Once you go there, you press this little ad, you press custom connector, and literally just, I'm gonna show you right here, copy meta ads into the top bar and the bottom link to the bottom thing. So you copy this over, put it here in remote MCP server URL, you put a name, whatever you want it to be. You can put meta ads here if you're feeling nice, and it'll show up in this list. Right? I called it meta/Facebook ads. Then it'll probably say that you still need to connect it. That's just where you log into your Facebook account. And if you then click on it, one thing that'll become apparent quite quickly is that there's a lot of different options. So essentially, when you connect it, I believe it's on needs approval. That basically means it won't do anything unless you actually approve it to do something. But you can actually also put it onto blocked or onto custom or onto always allow for every single category specifically. So for example, you can put everything to blocked. So every single retool it cannot do from the get-go unless you specifically approve it. And I think that could be something quite useful for you if you're a bit afraid of it overriding your permissions, that you turn off every single thing in terms of write or delete. You just block every single one of those so it can only read for you. And then again, as you get more familiar with it, you change it as you go. Once you've done that though, you literally can just start with one question like this. Audit my last 30 days. List the 5 worst ad sets by cost per result, the 5 best, and the one pattern across the bad ones. What comes back is your 5 worst ad sets, ranked by what each result actually cost you, your 5 best so you know what to push more budget towards, the pattern behind the losers, and a plain recommendation you can act on today. Now again, this is a simple guide, a simple what you can do. The thing is, the possibilities are limitless, but the most important thing is just to get started and to start. And as you start talking with Claude more, you'll realize what the different options are that you can do, can try out, and especially now that you still have access to Claude Fable. Really, it's so freaking smart. It'll know most likely how to make your ads or your ad spend better. Where, for example, if you had a couple of winning ads, you didn't really understand what the red line was between them all. What exactly made them win? Perhaps your AI is better able to do it. Or perhaps if you start feeding it data about every other ad that you've seen and your Claude now has a good gist of certain patterns that it keeps finding back, you can let it automatically generate ads for you in a similar field. These are some of the things you could do. Matter of fact, you can let it generate entire batches of different ads where it would usually manually be a lot of clicks. You can now generate thousands in a freaking afternoon. Now, I'm not saying that's the most efficient way to use meta ads. I'm saying the possibility for highly optimized, highly specific strategies has just become significantly easier. And I just pasted here a couple of different prompts you can probably just type in for yourself. If you want to find a leak, you want to spot creative fatigue, you want to see where your budget has been going, you want to compare 2 weeks or get a weekly report. Just a couple of prompts to get started, but of course you can optimize this as you go. It's just a couple of things to get you to start using AI here with your Facebook ads because it's just that powerful. And I personally think if you're not, you're eventually going to be left behind. And essentially you have to understand, this is the page you cannot skip. Reads are safe, writes are life. And the thing there is, writing really is the most essential part here. It's what makes this so freaking powerful. But reading is really simple, really safe. Anybody could turn it on. The writing part is where you gotta be a bit more cautious about, and that basically means you let Claude actually make ads for you. But of course, that also comes with its own essential risks. Like for example, if you tell it to pause a campaign or change a budget, it'll change it, which is really nice if you want to do something on the fly. Maybe you're just using Claude on your phone all day and you realize, oh, you know what? I just got a notification somewhere and I need to stop a specific set of ads. Maybe your Claude will actually know what to change better than you could actually do it in your Facebook ad manager. Now, there's actually also a couple of ways to combine it, and this is not an AI generated prompt. I just typed this out myself so I can better explain what my thinking process is. I really think now that we still have access to Fable, which is also why it cost me so much or so many credits myself, is because you want to be building structures. Now that you still have access to Fable, you really want to focus on the outline, and Opus can build the rest over time. But hear me out. If you're thinking, of starting anything in this regard, you tell it you want to start building proper systems for it. That's the first thing you insert into any one of those prompts, because essentially you do not want a one-time thing. You want something that's scalable, changeable, but more importantly, you've got something in place that can last throughout the time. So I wrote this. I want to build a system for automatically making Facebook ads, right? I'm just putting the idea out there that I want to make this an autonomous thing. I'm thinking Higgsfield or Canva for image and caption generation. So maybe it can just think of a certain prompt on a topic and make it automatically by using the Higgsfield MCP or maybe Canva and put a caption on top, perhaps. I could, of course, also do this for video generation, not just image. Or I could do image first and then over into video if I were to want to. All can be done autonomously. And then optimizing them, for example, these generations or the way we place them or the spend, then by making sure you give me a daily report. And I want to also build a system for knowing what went well and what could be done better. I'll send a list of example posts from others I'd like to copy to start and optimize from there. And why I'm saying this last part, this is not the exact prompt I would give it. I would actually tell Claude itself to build me a better prompt for this sort of subject. But if you're using Fable, it's smart enough to know what you want to do. You don't actually have to make that good a prompt to get some really good results. But depending on which AI you're using, especially if you're using Sonnet, you may want to actually draft out a better prompt first. Regardless, what we're building right here is a structure for making things better over time. This is just a starting prompt, but actually as you're writing this, you may be realizing what exactly it is that you want your new Claude managed Facebook ad manager, let's call it, to do. Write it in. Maybe you're thinking of something that should be changed. Write it in. Maybe you want to test some stuff out. Test it out, and you optimize as you go. The most important thing is you now know it's a possibility, and this is also how to stay on top of the game and not be completely or get completely dominated by the competition, because like I said, it's just that good. Anyway, this is official Facebook docs. If you want it, you can also just find it by typing in the MCP Facebook, and you'll probably just find the official Facebook website. That's the one I'm on right here. In case you're wondering if this is official documentation, yes, it is. They officially provide this themselves, so it's not sketchy in any way, shape, or form because it comes from the freaking horse's mouth, Facebook. Like I said before, if you want the full-on guide, just find it down below in the Skool. It's the first link you'll find in the description down below. It's just a free little Skool where you can talk with others, hopefully have some new lessons about AI. But most importantly, I just share my prompts over in there. It's just skool.com/AI-untapped. You'll find it. And I'll see you guys again in another AI video, hopefully some related today, because there's just so much that needs to be covered.